Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Dude, You Never Told Me, a podcast about three best friends just being big old goofballs. I'm your host, Anthony. With me are my two best friends and my two co-hosts. We got Devontae.
Hey, welcome everybody to another episode of Dude, You Never Told Me.
Yes, sir.
Yo!
Welcome. And over there, we got Alex.
What's up, guys?
What is up indeed? And so today, this episode, I think we're recording this on the Thursday before Valentine's Day, which is I think so it's the 12th.
Go
It's
check out our
actually-
Valentine's Day episode.
Yeah,
If
you
you haven't
should.
already.
It has
Yeah,
actually has
definitely.
its nice primer for kind of like the topic I want to touch to for this weekend. But first, I want to quiz my two best friends over here. Do y'all know what two holidays or two occasions are happening next week?
Two
Um,
holidays. President's Day is one of them.
Oh shit! I was not thinking of President's Day.
What is that on next
I
Monday?
was not thinking.
Yeah,
Is it
it's next Monday.
Oh, shit.
It is.
Am I,
This guy.
am
Well,
I
I
just
guess
a
it's
bad
3.
American? Hold on, let me Google this.
Oh no. Yeah, it's next Monday. I would know.
President's
I
Day
get
is
off
in there.
work.
Yeah.
President's Day 2026.
Well, that shouldn't do that. Me and Anthony don't get off work. for
Okay,
that
yeah,
day, so.
it is Monday. I was not thinking of President's Day. I was actually thinking about Lunar New Year, which is February 17th this year, and then good old Ash Wednesday for all us Christian boys. It is the 18th, that Tuesday. But I guess it's 3 holidays. It's really
There you go.
exciting. And so as you mentioned, we touched base last episode about Lunar New Year, and I provide a riveting explanation of what we do for Lunar New Year. It is true. My plans are to go eat, hang out with people, and do some light gambling. It's all in good fun.
Only light?
Yeah, it's just like gambling. I don't want to lose that much money.
Just a little bit.
I'm a safe better, Like I was telling my friend, even when it comes to poker, like I'm a terrible poker player because I don't play like to try to bluff anyone. I don't play to try to like read anyone. I play my hand, and if my hand is good, I keep playing. If it's not good, I'm gonna fold. I'm done.
That's like you said, that's the safest bet.
Safest way.
That makes sense. But that also means you'll be easier to read for other people.
Yeah, it's true. I only the thing is I'll always play if I'm one of like the blind bets because like I might as well if I'm involved.
Of course.
But yeah, I generally am a safe better. So even Lunar New Year would be
That's
a
something that we've never all done together is play poker. That'd
we
be
did.
fun.
We did play poker. We played poker with your father-in-law one time.
Father and y'all, yeah. That was the first time we met him.
I
Oh, you know
made
what?
money.
You're right.
I think
That's
I was the one who
true.
walked away with money because I was again a safe better. I just played
Yeah.
my hand only.
I was like,
sounds
I've
about
never
right.
played this, so I'm gonna learn tonight.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was so long ago.
Indeed.
That was a
Yeah.
random night.
So Lunar New Year. I are y'all doing anything for Lunar New Year? I know you're not really South Asian descent, so you might
I
not too.
am
But your
not.
friends maybe. You might be invited. We invite some of our friends to our Lunar New Year celebration.
I don't know. Are you guys trying to invite me to a Lunar New Year celebration?
The only person inviting would be Anthony.
Anthony, you trying to invite
Maybe.
us?
I am not trying to invite y'all. I'm not hosting
Dang.
one this year.
Dang.
But hey, you know what? We'll make it a collaborative effort. Maybe next year, the year following that, we are going to be. I'll host a Lunar New Year celebration. I'll invite y'all. You're more than welcome. Please bring your wallets. That's all
Bring
I
my
ask.
wallet.
But do you know what
We'll
year?
gamble with cards.
Do you know what year it is? So Lunar New Year
Oh,
has like
yeah.
an
I
animal
know
year.
exactly what year it is.
You know what year it is?
It is the year of the red horse.
Yes, it's the
The
horse.
red
year.
horse? Why is it red?
Well, it's just
I
a
don't know. That's
horse.
what China put out.
It
was
looks
like
old. Yeah, I
red
mean,
horse.
red's a very special color. It's a lucky color in Chinese culture. But the year is year of the horse. You're right, Devontae. Year of the horse. Do you guys know what year? What animal y'all two are?
I am a rat.
Yes, sir. You are a rat.
96.
What about you, Alex? Do you know what year?
My. Oh, wait, because it's based off year?
Yes.
Damn. No, I don't know. I know it's the same one as you.
Yes,
You
same
want
one
to
as
tell
me.
me?
Yes, Alex. You and I, we are both pigs. We are the year of the pig.
For the year of the pig.
Year of the pig, and
Wink,
that
wink.
means I think if I remember correctly, year the pigs are generally tend to be like reliable and like easygoing. Yeah, there's some other tropes. It's just like we
Yeah,
do like
the zodiac
the
sign.
the horoscopes with like our like Pisces and Libras and Sagittarius. There's few
Okay.
other ones as well, and then there's an extra layer of Chinese New Year where they have like elements. So you can be a wood dragon. You can be what are the
I
other
didn't know that.
elements? Elements
What's the
in.
elements this year?
I'm trying to figure that out.
Ooh,
Um,
wait.
I
I
think
gotta.
apparently we are. Is it a wood year? No,
I have no
2026.
clue.
2026.
I didn't even know this was an element.
Fire. It's a fire year. It's a
Okay,
fire
so
year.
it is like it's like
Yeah. So
a red horse. He's on fire, bro.
so like an extra layer. So like you can be like a horse, but if you're born in the year 2026, you're also a fire horse. It's extra level.
Dang. So 2024 was the wood dragon.
I think 2025 was a wood dragon, not?
I just looked it up. It says 2024. It says from February 10th, 2024 till January 28th was the wood dragon.
So what was last year?
Uh, I was just
Like
gonna
what?
say that's cool that the wood dragon was 2024 because that's what my daughter's year would be. Let me go
Oh, I see.
2025. 2025 was the wood snake.
Wood
Oh,
snake.
a
A lot of wood.
snake.
Huh. So we switched
Yeah,
from wood to fire. He's on fire.
sounds like it.
I guess so. Yeah, I'm
The
not. I'm not
burning the
too.
wood.
I'm not too familiar with that extra, the extra layer of it. So definitely, find out what actual elements you are, not just what animal you are. It's always
So what's the other holiday? Not President's Day, but the third one.
yeah. So the other one I mentioned was Ash Wednesday for all you Christian people out there. So I know me and
Is
Alex
is
celebrate
Ash
Ash
Wednesday
Wednesday.
technically all Christians or is it just Catholics
I
out
think
of
it's
curiosity?
Catholic mostly,
Okay, just Catholic.
predominantly Catholics, but I think
Well,
Christians also
let me
celebrate.
turn over to the residential non-Catholic but still very much Christian. Devontae, did you celebrate Ash Wednesday?
No, I
Like,
do not celebrate Ash Wednesday, but I have participated in Ash
okay.
Wednesday.
So like the concept of it, but you
Right.
actually don't like when you were growing up or when even when you were going to church, you never got like the ashes on your forehead.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't do that at our church.
I see,
Were
I
you
see.
jealous of us when we did?
No. I
Walk into
mean,
school, we come into high school because like in high school, people like would like take the morning off, go to
right.
mass, get the ashes and come back. You're never jealous of us walking in the
I mean,
little.
there's a part two to that jealousy that people don't talk about. The things that you must give up in order for you to continue that, right?
Yeah, that's fair, fair,
And
fair, fair.
so I don't know. I mean, if I wanted to give up something, I would just start it myself. I don't need an Ash Wednesday to tell me to give up something.
It's more of like it's supposed to like help us remember like all the sacrifice that Jesus did in the desert. So like
Right.
even then, like even when we're in school, like we would always make the pledge. I don't know about you, like, but like the easy pledge was I would give up candy, and so you just wouldn't eat candy. Like I mean, how much of a sacrifice was that really? I guess as a kid, it
Yeah.
was pretty big, but like
Yeah.
as an
Lowering the
adult,
amount of TV
yeah,
As an
as a
adult, it'd be
common one.
like your phone. Give up your phone
yeah.
for 40
So
days. Oh my
so
gosh.
for all of our
Go
listeners who
crazy.
who aren't
Oh, that's your
Catholic,
job.
for all of us who aren't Catholic, the idea of Ash Wednesday begins the season of Lent. And the season of Lent indicates the kind of represents the 40 days that Jesus spent in the desert after he was baptized, right? He was
Right.
baptized, went to the desert, and that's kind of, he was kind of like a prologue to his time of teaching. And so as Catholics, we are encouraged to go to mass, get the ashes on our forehead, which I know the ashes are made from the palms of last year's Palm Sunday, but I truly don't remember what the ashes actually like actually like stand for. Like why
I
do
don't
we
know.
get Ash Wednesday? Like why is that a thing?
Yeah.
I just knew what it symbolized as a kid because we were asked like you must give up something, but then they baked in the little like window like oh yeah you can indulge on Fridays. So like if you gave up like candy, then you was like oh I'm gonna sneak in that candy bar on Friday. That's always
Your
a
little
cheat
cheat
cheat day.
day.
That's cheat
Yeah.
day. So inbuilt cheat day for Lent. Um,
Okay, I
it was
got
really
the
fun.
answer for you. So the ashes are to symbolize mortality,
Sure,
repentance for sins,
sure,
and humility before God.
sure. Okay. I mean that's very on par of Catholicism. So
So
um,
the bigger question is, Are y'all both gonna celebrate it this year?
Mm.
So
I will not be celebrating it. I haven't celebrated Ash Wednesday in like such a long time because I don't have like a go-to church like here, like where I live, and so like I just don't do it.
so so for me, we'll see. I if I go, I'll probably try and go after work. I probably won't go before because I start at 6 a.m. So I don't even think church will be open for me to come in that early. You know,
Reese will be waiting.
he could be. He could
What
be
if
for
it's
all
like
I know.
a drive-through? You just
Yeah.
pull your car up,
He's like,
I'm
get the
sure.
ashes, and then
I'm
go.
sure that there's a church that does that somewhere in the U.S. Would not shock me. This is
right,
America.
true. That's just he's like,
It's 2026. Everybody's got a drive-through. Even Chipotle has drive-throughs now.
It's just there's a service in all these like Christian Catholic rituals. So this is not relating to Ash Wednesday, but it's like relating to kind of like the concept of it. So one of my friends, he was asked to be a godfather for his other friend's like, child.
he's the godfather.
And so one of the requirements, like, oh, the godfather must present like some sort of like letter of introduction from his church. Well, my friend is not Christian at all, but
Oh
like his other
no.
friend it's a very big deal for him. So like hey, as me being a friend to you, I'll be your godfather. It's very important for you to get your child baptized. And so my friend was like, he was searching. Apparently, there's like a church here in Austin where if you donate money to this church, they will pretend you are a parishioner and they'll write you a letter of introduction.
All right.
That's wicked.
And
You
so,
would
so
you would think
that's
if
what he
that's
did.
like easy to find out, like information wise, then that church would be known as a church to not accept these kind of letters from.
Is there some sort of cabal that's going to track you down and really make sure that you're a parishioner of a church? Is
I would
that big
not
of
be
a deal?
surprised. I would
I
not be
didn't know being
surprised.
a godfather was that intense.
Churches take their
It's
things
just
very
the church
seriously.
that his friend wanted his child baptized in. It required like, yeah, we want to make sure that like your godfather
No,
is actually fulfilling the role of a godfather and not just like you know not just like being like the Godfather movie style.
right.
So they're like, you gotta make sure that you are actually a practicing Christian.
I
So my
see.
friend was just like, oh, okay. But yeah, apparently like this church was like, yeah, you can donate and you donate of donations encouraged, but they wrote
I
him a
didn't
letter of
I didn't know you
introduction.
could do that. I didn't even know that was a thing, dude.
I'm
That's
telling you,
crazy.
man. So like, what if like this church is like, here, like, letter of introduction, here, donate money, and it will put ashes on your forehead for
I've
you. Easy,
been
easy, easy.
studying the wrong religion. What is this godfather?
Oh man. Yeah, my brother didn't have to do none of that because the church that I went to, they already knew him. He had been in part of that church since he was a kid.
But like these things are part of like of who we are and kind of like a part of our culture. And so I kind of want to bring it up to this gathering of friends here. We are at the age where one of us is a parent, the other two are contemplating becoming parents, and then that journey may start soon. Like, how do you plan on like preserving your culture through your kids? Says, Alex, you're part Colombian, Devonta, you're part Japanese, part black, and me, I'm Vietnamese and Chinese. How do we want to preserve our culture? How are you gonna try to preserve your culture?
Hold on, hold on. Did I just hear you say you're also Chinese? Since when have you been also Chinese?
I'm like try to dump it like a quarter or a 16th. It's why I'm so much more light skinned compared to other Vietnamese people.
This is a dude you never told me moment. What
I
the
could have
heck?
sworn I told you
You
that.
never
Like,
told
all
me
right, all
that.
right,
I've
all right,
always
all right,
only
Hey,
known you as
Vietnamese
these
okay, okay, okay,
people.
okay, 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 okay.
could be
Let's
any
go through
variety of things, dude.
let's go through a little back. So let's just do a quick run through my
What
little
is
family
happening? My
history.
mind is.
So
What universe did I wake up in
so a
today?
quick
All right,
run.
story
So
time with Anthony.
apparently,
Tell
so
us about
this
your
this is
culture.
relatively new. I probably just found this out in the past, like maybe like 5 years. So I was talking to my uncle. He was kind of sharing some of our family history, and so like my family, they had actually fled communism basically like 3 times or so pseudo 3 times. So it was their answers came from like the China to Vietnam, and then when the communists took over North Vietnam, they fled to South Vietnam, and when communists took over South Vietnam, they fled to like America. And so, like, if you trace back my ancestral route, it does come from like that the Chinese area. That's why I'm very much. If you compare me to other Vietnamese people, I'm relatively lighter skinned than most Vietnamese people. Or
Dang,
did
your
a lot of
family hates communism, huh?
man, that's just the time that like that the
All the
1900s.
time.
Still the times, yeah. So so it, so yes, my family more identifies as being Vietnamese, but like my wife is Cantonese, and so like we still want to preserve that culture as well.
Okay.
So that's why I mentioned Chinese and Vietnamese. But yes, I primarily identify as Vietnamese. But like if you like this, I get this a lot from like people I meet on the street or like from like my friends' family. Like I do look very like light skinned Vietnamese. It's
Yeah.
because I have that like Chinese, I guess like ancestral blood flowing
You
through
don't think it's just because you're indoors all the time?
me. No, I mean even outside, I'm not like I tan like a Vietnamese person, but my default is like
Probably
light skin.
adds to it. Adds to the lightness.
I don't know. Maybe we put you out in the sun more. You'll get dark real quick.
Yeah, I mean I will tan. I will sunburn
I'm
like you,
just,
Alex, but I
I'm
will
just
tan.
playing. I'm just playing. Hey, my burns turn into tans. They heal.
Mhm.
Sure.
Okay, okay, okay,
So
sir. Okay.
Alex, how are you, preserving your culture with your kid? Like what are
Yeah,
some things that you I guess, to get this started off? Like what are some
sure.
things that you do since you're already
So
there?
on my mom's side, we've got a lot of different things that we do. So some things that I want to keep alive are the food, buñuelos, almojábanas, arepas, Colombian tamales,
Do you know how to
not.
make all those?
I can make all of them. I can make all of them. I
Okay.
mean, the thing about the tamales is they're it's a process. It's like it takes you a few
I love
days.
tamales.
It's not like a get it all done in one day type of dish. So that's the hard part with that one. The other ones they're kind of like different variations of like cheesy bread in a way or like
Yeah.
pastries. So it's not too bad. But yeah, definitely those are things I would love to keep around. I know my wife loves eating all of them, so she'd be happy with me.
You got to
Um
get her some lingua.
yes, lingua is really good. Gosh, lingua's become expensive in the last few years though. I don't know what's gone on
I mean,
in
beef in
America
general.
to
Beef's up.
yeah. I think people started catching on that lingua's pretty good, so it's expensive now. It used to be cheap, but oh well. Other than that, I mean, there's other things too that I'm probably not thinking off the top of my head, but
About,
those are the
like,
big ones.
do you speak Spanish to her?
I try to now and then, yeah. I
Okay.
probably don't speak it enough, but luckily, I've got a Spanish speaking grandmother who only speaks Spanish. So whenever around her and she gets to see her at least once or twice a week,
Mhm.
she's speaking nonstop Spanish. So that helps a lot.
Are you gonna
Um,
try to like make sure she stays like dueling? I
Bilingual.
want to say Duolingo, but that's the that's the service. Bilingual,
Bilingual.
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 Yeah. Are you
I
gonna make sure
mean,
she stays
that
bilingual like you?
That's the hope. I don't know what'll happen or what her journey's gonna be like, but I know that as she's going through school, I'm definitely gonna have her learn Spanish, right? So that's gonna be part of it too. I imagine she's gonna be pretty decent at it, if not better than I am. We'll see. It's up to her. She's got to have some of the desire to want to get good at Spanish as well. It's not I can show her the path. I can get her started, get her good roots, but she's got to continue to water her own roots at some point.
Yeah.
So, other than I mean, obviously Spanish is a pretty big part of that side of the family. I also
Well, your
want
Irish side.
the Irish side, so I would say there's not as many traditions that like we still do. Like I mean, there are Irish traditions, right? But that my family actively partakes in, uh, very few. I would say the biggest one. I don't even know officially if this is Irish or Scottish because my grandma on my dad's side, she's Scottish. Uh, on New Year's Day, we always love to eat oh my gosh, corned beef, cabbage,
Mm.
and stuff like that. So that's like one of those traditions for that side of the family. Again, not sure if that's the Scottish or the Irish, but it's one of those two. Um, and then obviously like St. Patty's Day, but that one's kind of like I almost feels like more of an American holiday than really Irish.
Have a green
um,
beer.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. Have a green beer.
Irish American holiday. Yeah.
Yeah, Irish American indeed, without a doubt.
Well, it makes me feel better. She'll be forced to celebrate anyways because the whole world celebrates it. Everything turns green for the month of March.
Yeah, for sure. And the other tradition that I want to keep around, this one's on the Colombian side still. So my mom really wants me to make sure that like every Christmas we have this prayer book that we read. It starts from December 16th till the 25th, and it's like 9 days of just reading out of this prayer book about like it's kind of like the road to Jesus in a way, like the road to his birth, if you will. You
Mm.
guys have both participated in it once or twice, and it's just something that we do every year. So my mom would like me to continue to pass that tradition down. So that's one that I'm trying to make sure keeps going.
I like that
And
tradition.
yeah, it's a good one. Um, Other than that, I mean, there's other traditions for both sides, but like I said, they're not like very practiced in the US. I couldn't even tell you most of the Irish ones. But I know there's this other one that I thought that was kind of cool in the month of May. Whenever I was in Colombia, I learned a bit more about it 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. In the month of May, like they have this statue of Mary, like this very tall statue of Mary that these group of women will carry and take from home to home each night to do this like service. And it happens all throughout the month of May, and basically, like, whenever it's your turn, you're supposed to have the house all prepped and nice and ready, and, you're supposed to have, like, little, pastries ready for everyone who's gonna come, and so, like, it's kinda like a big ordeal, and it's just, like it's a very community thing, you know? Like, in the US, it's not common because everybody kind of keeps to themselves. Like you don't see people just going to some random stranger's house. I mean, these are all people I had never met or seen before in my life, and they were just walking on in. And they're like, "Hello, hello," like, "Yes, God bless you, God bless you, God bless you." Like
Wait, did you do that last year?
2 years ago. This was
Years
when I
ago.
was in Colombia. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They showed up the week that I was there. Of all the weeks, right?
Wow.
Pretty lucky timing, I guess. And so it was pretty cool.
Are you gonna take her to Colombia?
One day, that's the
Okay.
plan. We've talked about it a few times. I would like to take her. Heck, if I could, I'd take her this year. But we're trying to be cautious because obviously there's big events going on that side of the world. Uh, Recent events with their neighbors and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and who
Yeah, didn't
knows?
you hear? Trump's the acting president of Venezuela.
Yeah, stuff like
Feel
that.
safe.
So we'll see. Like trying to play it safe. So the sooner the better, but don't want to put her in any danger. So, you know, but one day for sure. I gotta go check out the colorful river one of these days.
Maybe you could check it out with her.
I
Right?
think that'd
That'd
be a
be
cool
pretty cool.
experience.
Nice.
What about you,
Um,
Devonte? How are you going to share your culture, both sides,
and
with your future child?
for my future child, I want them, me and Walken to have very unique names. And so I guess this is a culture, just like more like family, something that me and Walken have talked about. It's like me and Walken have both unique names. And so we also want like our kids to have like unique names, but also works English and Japanese.
Mm.
And so that's something that we've been discussing. It's like, okay, what name would be good for them? Because like Wakana can be like can be made fun of, right? Or
Mm.
Devonte, like our names can be made fun of. But then like we don't want our kid to have like a name that people can
I
make
feel
fun
it.
of too easy.
Oh, bro, they're always
I
gonna
mean,
find a way.
that's why
Yeah,
my
people
name
will
was
find a way.
Anthony. I wasn't, I don't have a Vietnamese
Yeah.
name.
So it's like, we'll come up with a name that fits both cultures, that sounds cool, is unique, different. Um, and so that's one, I guess, to start off with. And then to keep the Japanese tradition alive or culture alive, I think both our parents were both our moms, they're Japanese. And so I'm sure they'll speak Japanese to our kid one day.
Oh yeah.
Um, and then of course I'm gonna try my best to speak as much Japanese as I can to my kid so that they know like, oh, like this is another like there's a different language than English,
Mm.
that can be spoken. And so I'll speak English, Japanese. I hope that they can learn Spanish living in Texas. That'd be a great necessity to learn. I hopefully I can learn it with them, which would be good for me.
Good.
Yeah, you
Um,
did such a great job of learning it in high school, you know?
man, my mentality was in a different space in high school. I was not. I could care less about. I just cared about the grade more than learning the
Yeah,
language.
you did. No, I know you did.
And so hopefully I could revisit that and
Shout out to
ma-
Hill leaving the classroom that day.
yes she did. Yeah, she did. I'm gonna fail
I
that
could
class.
not believe it.
Um, and so yeah, maybe I can revisit and redeem the time by learning Spanish. What I did
I
not do in
mean,
high school, I can do with my kid.
that puts like a big good question. Like, what do you think will be your child's first language? But and to both you and to Alex, I know you speak Spanish, fluently. Like, are you
Yeah.
going to make the effort? For Devontae, you can make the effort to try to like have Japanese kind of be one of the first language that your kid learns because they're going to learn English in
Right.
school.
Yeah, that's
So,
the biggest thing. I'm gonna do my best to
mhm.
teach them as much Japanese as I can before they go to school, because like you said, they're gonna learn English in the school system anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think I have a pretty good plan when it comes to having like the grandparents around, or especially the grandmas, or I don't want to call them the grandmas, but my mom, her mom around, so that they can speak Japanese to them
Yeah.
as much as they're able to, so that it becomes normal,
Right.
and they can speak Japanglish. That'd be
English.
just fine too. Um, and then just showing them like Japanese shows, some
Yeah,
shows that we
man.
grew up
Yeah.
on, Anpanman, well, maybe Doraemon, but for sure Anpanman, which is
Is that
Breadman.
the
The bread, yeah, the bread man.
what's the name of the
What's the
blue
what's the
guy?
blue guy? Yeah, blue guy.
It's
Doraemon.
the
Yeah.
Doraemon.
Doraemon.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so we'll
He's
show them like
popular.
some childhood shows. I mean, as they grow older, I would love for them to get into Naruto. Shoot, I even told my friend if my kid wants to get into One Piece, I'll get into One Piece with them. I'll watch it with them. I've never
Just
watched One
make it
Piece.
easy on you. Don't show him One Piece. He won't get into it.
Oh, you're
I
missing a
want to give them
moment though.
options. Yeah, I want to,
Cultural moment.
yeah, I want to
And
give my kid as much like parental freedom as I can give them, but while still monitoring them. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I still want to be, I still want to know what they're doing, what they want to do, but I want to give them opportunities to experience as much as they can when they're a kid, so they know like, oh, this is what when they grow up. And as they're growing up, they know like,
Right.
oh, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is what I want to pursue. Okay, maybe I don't want to pursue this, but I like to do it as a hobby. Just give them as much opportunities so that they become a well-rounded person. I guess
Yeah.
is what I would want for them to become. And
yeah,
even
like actually learning Spanish.
yes, actually learning Spanish. They can trilingual. That'd be great. Even
God, I'm always so
Korean if they need to.
envious of the people that are like polyglots who can just learn language so quickly and so easily.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that is
So it's always
something
such a
really
it's
cool.
convenient.
cool thing.
You're like a mobile translator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
Yeah.
and then just if they really want to, like I'm not gonna force it, but like to learn the minute details of Japanese culture, and black culture, because like there's some things that if you step into a room full of all black people, there's some things that you got to know. And if you step into a room full of all Japanese people, you don't got to necessarily know it, but if you know it, they'll respect you more. um and so like in the Japanese culture, like small things would be uh like knowing where to sit. Like, the Japanese culture is very respectful towards age,
Right.
and so, or the elderly. And so it's like there's certain, well, elderly and title. And so if you know a person's title, you know, being Japanese, then you know where to sit. And you being at a younger age, like you're gonna sit in a certain spot. And so that's like one of the examples. Like it's best that "Oh, okay, this is where I need to sit." And then if I get called to sit somewhere else that they want me to sit, then I will. But I know I need to sit like at the kids' table, or I need to sit at the end of the table, away from
Hmm.
the big honchos, pretty much. or within a black room. Like sometimes you do got to read the. I mean, that's for any room, but sometimes you do got to read the room. For being black. Like I don't know what color my kid is gonna come out. I don't know if they're gonna come out as black as me or they're gonna come out as white as Walkner.
You may have
And
babies like Patrick Mahomes did.
yeah, if they come out looking like that, I'll be like, you might need to
Or
watch
like
out for
a
that word. It might not be best. It might people are gonna mistake you for not being black. And
like
you're
a
saying that word.
Halsey. Yeah, Halsey has that same.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like if nobody knows you and you're in a room and you look kind of white, but your dad's I mean, I'm black, like and you say
Yeah.
that word, like they're gonna be like, they're gonna
Like a
look at you.
second take.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, sorry, you don't get to say that.
They're gonna look at you how Kendrick looked at Drake. We don't want you saying that no more. But
Oh no.
and so, there's certain things that I want my kid, I guess, to pick up on so that their life is, a lot it goes a lot smoother.
It's okay. If your kid
Be
ends up that light skin, he can always be the next Eminem.
hey, he could be whatever he wants to be. I just want him to succeed and um
How do you know it's a
grow up
him? It could be a she.
or her. I just want them to succeed. Um and so that's like the black and Japanese culture. But also the biggest thing that I want to instill within my kid is um like biblical values.
Mm.
I think that's the number one thing that even before black culture, Japanese culture is kingdom culture. Like instill biblical values, who Jesus is to them, uh, where do we stand on in our faith, and so that would be, I guess, the foundation of our faith is found in Jesus, and so that's what I would want them at the end of the day to know before anything else. Uh, and so that's something that I'm gonna strive to do, and I hope that it goes it goes well. Um, but yeah, I mean, their name, you guys don't know it yet, but their name will reflect it. I hope that they'll live up to their name. Not trying to put like a big shoulder boulder or pressure on them, but I'm hoping that they'll live up to their name and that they'll be a great citizen, I guess, of the United States of America, and a great person to all my friends and family and everybody that meets them is what I would want for my children to know.
You
I'm
guys sent
sure your
them
kid's
to
gonna turn out just fine whenever
yeah.
they decide to grace the world with their presence.
You guys send them to vacation Bible school.
Oh, well, if they want to go, they don't got to go. Like I said,
Right.
I'm not. There's certain. I'm not gonna force my kid to do things. My parents never forced me, so I'm not gonna I'm not gonna do that to my kid. Be a helicopter parent, or not saying that it's wrong. It's right or wrong to do it for other parents, but that's just not my style of parenting.
Mm, that's fair.
You don't even know your style yet, bro.
I don't, and I
It's
don't want.
true.
I guess I'm letting you know that I don't want it to be that way.
You should just spin a wheel and see what it lands. Like I'll become that parent.
Oh,
Oh no.
Leave it truly up to fate.
I will hate myself if I became that parent. And if y'all saw me become that parent, I would hope that y'all say something.
Oh man. Call it fate, call it RNG.
Are in Jesus.
All right,
Yeah,
Jesus.
there it is. I was waiting for that.
What about you, Anthony? What you got, man, for
Oh, I
your
mean, I
kid?
think the best way to preserve like your culture for your kids is, as Alex mentioned at the very beginning, is like with food. Like that's like the easy way to expose them to your culture. For me, like, being Vietnamese, of my wife being Vietnamese, and
You got to
Cantonese.
get that nook mum.
Yeah, we have to share pho, share like like a steamed fish, share some like beef flat noodle, share those dishes with them, because then that's how we get them to start like enjoying their culture, because they experience it through food. It's an easy way to experience, to show anyone a different cultures through food.
That's true.
And then I'm trying to learn Vietnamese, relearn it. According to my mom, it's stored in the back of my head somewhere. They're tempted to just send me out to Vietnam for like 3 months and just
So
give
I
me
gotta
the
ask
shock.
Anthony,
The shock.
how good are you at Vietnamese? Like,
Right
can
now,
you
so
speak
right
it
now,
fluently or?
no. So right now, I can hear it, and if I'm doing active listening, I can kind of figure out what you're saying. But my family's, because we are like from the like my family originated from like North Vietnam before going down to South Vietnam. They kind of have that like northern accent to it, kind of a northern southern mixed accent. And so my family's dialect is different from like say like our friend JT's family's dialect. So for
Mm,
them, if I want to understand what his parents are saying, I have to really focus in and like listen to the words. You know how if you for Japanese and for Spanish, you can probably like if you hear it just passing by, you kind of pick up and know what they're saying. You know, you kind of built that into yourself, and so you can use your more passive listening and pick out what they're saying. For me, passive listening only works with my family. Any other Vietnamese has to be like active listening. I have to really sit down, like, okay, you know, what are you actually telling me,
Right.
and like decipher it.
Because Vietnamese is a lot of tone shifts.
Yes, lot tone shift.
Like, but the tone can change the word. Like, in
Yeah, I
Japanese, it's
mean,
like it just depicts your emotion.
my
Or
my
in English,
favorite
right?
my favorite example is fish and chicken in Vietnamese. So for chicken in Vietnamese is gà, and then it's spelled GA with like an accent over the A. For fish, it's called ga, which is spelled the same
Yeah.
GA,
Uh,
but it's like a higher inflection. So if you're
exactly.
ordering something, you say, "Oh, I want like this with chicken," and you actually don't have that inflection. You get it with fish, you're like, "This is not a chicken. This is a
Right.
fish."
Yes.
And so there's and then there's also like for ice and for rocks as well. It's the same spelling of the word, just with a different accent, a different mark on the e sound on the e, and so it's very easy to confuse. And so Vietnamese is a very tonal language, and so
Right.
that way
Hmm.
dialect is like a very crucial part of it. So for me, I have to really focus in, and for my family, because I listen to them throughout my entire life, it's easy for me to understand what they're saying. And then
Right.
according to my mom, when I was like little, before I got to like St. Andrews, which is where I went for elementary school, I was like fluent in both English and Vietnamese. Like I would talk to my friends in English, turn to my mom, turn to my grandma, and speak Vietnamese perfectly. Then I fortunately fell into the trap that a lot of like firstborn, first generation, like whatever's, you get to school, your English is not the best, but you enter like first grade, second grade, or so and so. And so your teachers encourage your parents to speak English at home to help you practice at home. And that just becomes your entire, like, your
Mm.
main language, essentially.
Is that
And
what you're
so,
gonna do with your potential kid one day?
yeah,
They're gonna come home and be like, "My teacher told me to speak English to me."
I think my goal, hopefully, if I can learn Vietnamese again, my goal is to be able to, like, yes, they go to school, learn English, but at home, it's like still learning, like, speaking them in Vietnamese and like
Would
kind of
you
get them to get to know both.
would you want them to also learn Chinese?
Oh yeah, yeah, Cantonese, absolutely. I mean, Michelle speaks Cantonese with her parents. It is really cool to see them like speak Cantonese. It's
Are you
something
gonna
I
learn it
want.
too?
Yes, I want to learn Cantonese so they stop making fun of me. Somewhere
Like
deep inside, I know
Oh
for a fact
no.
we're
they
all
make fun
forcing
of me.
you to learn a language so we can learn it with them.
Well, I need to know what they're saying, and and so like I want to learn Cantonese. I want to learn Vietnamese so that Michelle and I's child can be like trilingual at least, English, Cantonese, Vietnamese. They don't have to be masters at the language, but be able to like converse.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's kind of fun because like for my Vietnamese vocabulary, as I told Michelle, like I know words that I said a lot when I was a kid. And so it's very like basic sentence structures, so I like very like what I call like kind of bratty kind of tone. So like I can say, oh, I want to go home, or I'm hungry, or I'm not hungry, or like I want to go play. I can't have like a rich dialogue about like whatever, because as a kid never had that. I just complained to go home. I would complain that I was hungry.
That's gonna be your kid one day. They're gonna be
Give me my kid
complaining
one
to you
day.
all
They
the time.
complain, complain, complain.
They're gonna be like, "What did I teach you?"
And not just that, I want, there's some like really, really great like Hong Kong action films, Hong Kong like comedies that these movies are like by our standards, like from like the 80s and 90s. For our kids, it's gonna be like a 50-year-old movie. And it's gonna be
True.
like we want to show to them because they're like iconic movies and they're part of our growing up, our childhood. So
Yeah.
I think that's how we'll kind of keep the traditions alive. And obviously, celebrating Lunar New Year is like a big one. We probably won't celebrate some of the other like Asian holidays. Like we won't be celebrating like Golden Week or I guess like a mid autumn festival. Like we'll talk about it, but we're not going to go to like like a thing to celebrate it.
Mid Autumn Festival. I was actually just looking up a very popular, well, I don't know if it's popular, but I think it's popular pastry from that. Um,
Mooncake.
yeah, mooncake.
Yeah.
What's the deal with
I
the mooncake? Do you know anything about it?
like the history, no idea. The taste, some of them are hit or miss. Some of them are really good. Usually they're like red bean or like mung bean, which is really nice.
Yeah.
But one time, but my
What's
uncle
the
he gave
sour one?
sour one.
There's like
You think of a pineapple cake?
I thought there was like a sour tasting mooncake.
There's like a they make durian mooncakes. I've had those
Oh, maybe
before.
that's what it was.
It's
It,
it's an acquired
it,
taste.
yeah, it is. It is. It really is.
Yeah. Oh, but like for Lunar New Year, like one of like the most iconic dishes for Vietnamese culture is like a rice cake. Essentially, like just rice and like mung bean and like like a pork center inside of it.
Hmm,
That's really good.
Sounds
I'm
pretty good.
excited to eat that. But it just like
I,
those are the elements that we want. I want to keep alive. Is
yeah,
they're good. They're not going to be fully fully like pure Vietnamese, or they're not going to be fully, but they're going to be like American Cantonese or American Vietnamese or Vietnamese American. And so like it's important that they understand their culture.
Yeah.
Because as a kid, I wasn't always super excited to be Vietnamese as a kid, but it wasn't until I got to like high school I started hanging out with more Vietnamese people. I started seeing more like Asian people. I was like, okay, my
He said
culture is
he's
who
my
I
people.
am. Yeah, my culture is who I am, and it very much embodies it. It helped me embrace like my last name being more difficult to like pronounce.
Nice.
Very important, very important.
One I will say one thing that I do want to keep that my parents did that I want to do. It's not like a cultural thing. It's just more like a family thing. I don't know. Maybe
yeah.
you guys have one too. It's similar to you, Alex, about the Christmas, the days before.
Mhm.
Um, but one thing that me and Walk gonna do is at dinner, no electronics.
Mm.
Like we force each other to talk. Like if that makes sense. Like you talk about your day, you talk about like, oh, how was your day today? What did you do? Like you have to genuinely have a conversation. And that includes like at home, like
Yeah,
not just out and about, but at home, no phones, like no TV. You have your dinner and you have to talk. You have to communicate. Um, and that was something that my mom did at whenever I was growing up. She was like, and phones came into play. She's like, no phones at the dinner table. We talk at the dinner table, and I feel like that's a lost thing within most households these days. I have a lot of friends who they don't eat with their friends or family. Like they kind of eat by themselves, do whatever, which is fine. It's just I like to have that aspect of having like a building that relationship, like over dinner. And so that's one thing that I want to do with my kid. And I'm sure like at first, Alex, I'm sure it's like very hectic having dinner with your kid because
Like
all they want to
iPad
do
kid.
is yeah, or I don't want to do that either.
not
I don't
even that, bro. The kid just wants to play. They
yeah,
want they want to throw their food. They want to if you have cats, so they're gonna want to play with the
throw it at the cats.
cats. They're gonna want to throw it at the cats. They're gonna want to feed the cats. They're going to want. Uh, I mean, every kid's gonna be different, but like my kid wants her bottle and she wants her food and she wants to point at everything because we have a whole bunch of photos on the walls. So she'll be pointing and she'll be like, "Ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's this? Ooh, what's that?" And then we have like this little aerial placemat for her, and she'll be pointing at the Little Mermaid, like, "What? Like, uh, uh, uh," and just it's like it's not just eating. She wants to make it almost like a game in a way.
I'm looking
You
forward
know,
to it. So that's
one
one
day
thing
you
I want
it's
to
both
do.
will
the
get to
it's the art
experience
of
it.
the distraction. Like, how do you make sure your kids like behave so that you can take them out to restaurants? Because it's gonna
Yeah.
be like what, like a couple of years after they're born before they're like probably able to like speak and sit at a table without being like distracted by every little thing out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a hot topic. I have a hot topic. I'm gonna bring it out.
Okay, do
Okay, are
Um,
we moving on then? Is that
well, I
what you're
guess
doing?
it's
Transition.
similar to what we're talking about right now. The hot topic is I think kids need to learn how to be bored these days. Like they need to know how to
Mm.
just sit in silence, not like back in the day we didn't have I mean, we didn't have before the Game
Back
Boy
in
and
my
all that.
day.
I know we sound like old men, but like we didn't have TV, we didn't have phones. Like we have to like
You
literally
didn't?
I didn't have phone until like 8th grade, dude. But
Okay,
like
well,
I had to
TV.
literally
Sixth grade. Yeah.
okay, 6th grade, but I had to literally entertain myself. Like I had to find what I wanted to do, whether that was to go outside and play or like, go ride my bike, find a book to read. like I had to entertain myself. But like
Play
nowadays,
with the
we just kind of go
toys.
straight to our phones or straight to our computer. Like that's that's the natural, at least for me, is to, oh, I'm bored. Let me go straight to my phone. Let me pull out my phone and
Mm.
look at the screen, even though I'm not doing anything. I'm just kind of scrolling through like. But I think it's important for kids to just to know how to be bored, like just to sit in silence, to sit still and just look up at the
Did you,
sun. I don't know.
when you were like little, did y'all like ever forced to watch Mister Rogers in like his neighborhood
No, I was
on
forced to
PBS?
read. I was forced to read a dictionary.
So if you ever watch, this is a pretty good documentary. So Mister Rogers, you guys know Mister Rogers like from PBS. So that
I
he
wasn't
has like
forced to
a
watch it, but I did watch it.
he has a documentary about like his life and how what he did for like children and and for like public broadcasting. And there's like a clip of him basically he sits in silence for a whole minute, and it's supposed to encourage kids that they don't need to like a minute is like is not that long. It teaches like yeah it can just be generally silence for a minute. It's nothing in the world,
Yeah,
and it's just like
exactly.
that notion of it.
The
Um,
longest minute in the world for that
Even
for those
some
children.
adults need to sit there
yeah,
for a minute and realize that the world
I
can
mean
be.
the true
That's what the shower's
challenge.
for, Devontae.
Yeah, but the
Some people can't even do that in the shower, dude.
it's the sound of
Some people
water. Yeah,
cannot.
listen, the true challenge that we'll encounter, even like my cousin who has 3 kids and she experiences she tells is like it's not that it's for when it comes to giving your kids like phones, electronic devices, or whatever, it's one thing. It's when they meet other kids whose parents do let them have like phones and
Right.
consoles and all that kind of stuff. Like, how do you like encourage like it's like where you draw the line? Like, your kid's gonna want to like, oh, my friend has like a new iPhone. I want a new iPhone. They're
Yep.
like 6 years old. So you have to find that
Yep.
good balance, being like, just because they have doesn't mean you need to have it.
And explain the why. Don't just, sometimes it is because I say so, and it is because I'm an adult. But I think it's important to tell your kid why,
Yeah.
like the why behind the reason they can't have it. And it's okay to say
Yeah.
yes sometimes. Like some kids, they need the reassurance of yes.
Mhm. And
I
it's
remember.
also complicated. Sorry, one more thing before
You're good. You're
you.
good. No,
So
I
one of
was
the things
just
is like it's also play dates. For us, like when we hung out as kids, like we're going out there. This is before we had consoles. We'd go there. We'd play with Legos. We'd go outside,
yeah.
be like ride our bikes or go play basketball or do whatever. But like we're playing with each other. There is like you can. I'm sure you can find like coworkers, friends who have kids who are at the age where they do play dates. They're like all on their phones. They're all playing their own little thing.
Yeah, they're right next to each other
Right.
texting. And it's like,
Yeah.
I
just
think
say hi.
a very fun example is like you invite your kids friend to go come over, and they're both on their separate switches doing separate games but just being in the same room together. It's like a very different different pattern of like what a play day consists of.
Right.
Gone are the days of like, oh, let's come over and go play like basketball in the front yard. Let's go play like soccer in the neighborhood. Let's go go swimming, something like that.
Mm.
It's a little changed. Yeah, that's just the current times.
We had one friend, Anthony, growing up who was their parents were really good at making sure we did something like physical and outside, even if it was for a little bit, and just making sure that we weren't just cooped up in the room all day playing
Right.
games. I don't.
Yes.
I'm
Especially
sure
if it's
you.
like a really good weather outside. I
Yeah.
think it's very important that we
That's a good
should
idea.
encourage,
Hmm.
I'll go out there and play with them.
yeah.
Because I remember as kids, me and Anthony, when we get together, we just play Halo with our boys when we were in middle school. That's all we did was just play Halo, Forge Halo.
Mhm.
Some great games were played there, but
Then we'd go outside, play some
go
basketball.
outside, play some basketball, maybe go for a run or work out or something like that. That family was very good about making sure all of us got into it, and we all none of us were opposed or afraid to work out. Like we all were excited to do it. Like it was fun. So I think even when you have friends and family over, you can definitely find ways to incorporate them to do that stuff. Because if we could do it with that family, we could definitely bring something like that for others when they come over. And that way, it's not just two kids in a room on their switches playing separate games, or two kids on their phones not even talking, or they're talking but through the phone the whole time.
Right. Well, we'll create an environment for them to be able to do that.
Right. And
Yeah.
it's also, as us as parents, it's how we, our kids are gonna learn from us. And so
Right.
if we are practicing what we preach, as they say, they'll understand that like this is normal. This is okay. Like you're not going
Mhm.
to explode for not being on your phone for like an hour. It's
Right.
fine.
True.
Might
This is true.
encourage better creativity.
Mhm.
You know, you're not going to AI to ask them about everything. You're
Oh
figuring it out
god,
yourself.
yeah, that's gonna become a thing for sure. If
Yeah,
Devontae would have had that in Spanish class, man, that would have been game over.
I definitely would have learned no Spanish.
Learned zero.
I know poquito.
Un poquito.
Poquito.
I will say, Alex and I, we learned Spanish. Oh, I mean, Alex, knows Spanish, from like way before he started learning it in school. But
Yeah.
for me, like, our elementary school, middle school, I think it was every year, like we would have like Spanish classes.
Mhm.
And so, like, surprisingly enough, like I still remember a lot of it. And so, like, I'll be just be walking and doing my own thing, and I'll hear someone speak Spanish, and it becomes like almost a second nature. But oh, I know what they're saying. Like, and it's like, and not that we're like, when I was learning new languages, one of the examples that you know you know a language when you hear the language, you don't hear it in English. Like, if you say something in Spanish, you don't hear it in English. You see like the object that you're referring to. That's how
Mm.
you really make that connection with the language. And so like I'm sitting there, I'm listening, I'm like, oh yeah, they're talking about this and that, and they talk about the kitchen, talk about like their house, talk about whatever. Like, oh, I actually retained a lot of that from our Spanish classes in school.
Oh, they're talking
Nice.
about how that one lady was being a biatch to him.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you catch on to these words like,
All the bad
okay,
words. I just learned all the
Oh
bad
yeah.
words from these guys.
Yeah, you love the bad words.
those don't be teaching your kid those bad words. That's
Oh,
not
they'll learn from somewhere. Might learn it from Alex,
Nah, I don't know what you're talking about. Not from me. If they're your kid, they're gonna want to learn it just to learn it.
so they can say it to you. They're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, they will.
all
Right
right.
back at you if any of my kids ever say some dumb shit like that. Come on now.
Moving on to our next topic before we
Chelsea
get too
says
Yeah.
those are
distracted.
adult words, and that's what she said. We got to teach them if they ever try to parrot that.
All right, moving on. Speaking of like, I guess like we're talking about stuff in our childhoods, talking about how we're going to teach our kid and raise our kid and educate our kids. One of the questions that I contemplating, because I don't know if you guys know, but there are certain things I do every single year, and these things are just a me personal activity. And it's one, I watch Lord of the Rings every single year just by myself if I have to.
The
And
whole
then two,
series.
the whole series, the extended edition, all 10 hours of them, glorious 10 hours of Lord of the Rings. I always read them.
Extended?
Yeah, oh, you have to.
Oh dang. Well,
You
that's
have
longer
to.
than 10 hours then.
Is it not? I think it's like what, like it's three and a half, like four and
If
four
you're watching
probably.
extended, it's way more.
It's a long thing, but I do it every single year because I love Lord of the Rings. I do it with Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I do it with a lot of few things, and even
11 hours, 26 minutes.
there you go. See, I always watch Lord of the Rings every single year. I always watch Star Wars every single year. I probably always watch Harry Potter every single year as well. I don't.
Yeah.
Now that
Oh,
was not as like dedicated. It's not in one sitting. It's like over the span of like months and weeks. But
Yeah,
I
no,
try to
Harry Potter you
watch the
gotta spread out.
series. Um,
okay.
and then even most recent, not an annual thing, but actually restarted rewatching Naruto for the first time. Oh, not for the
Mhm.
first time. I'm watching Naruto again, and it's like all these good callbacks to when I was like
Me
younger. And so my
too.
question for y'all is, if you could experience something for the first time again, what would it be? The joy of experiencing something again.
I've got a corny one and then a hobby one.
Both. Go ahead. Do it.
All right, my corny one, and this one is fun because I can say that I get to still kind of do this experience in a way. Um, but it would be falling in love with my wife again. I would love to
Mm,
experience that again for the first time.
also
But in a
Christian.
way, I
Fair.
still get to kind of do that from time to time because as we've grown and changed, it's like falling in love with her all over again. For example, watching her become a mom. That's that's falling in love with her all over again. It was getting married to her, falling in love all over again as my wife, and then just different times through our life. So that's my corny one.
It's cute.
Um,
That's a good one.
and the other one is getting to so I'm gonna do a TV show and a game. So TV show would be Dragon Ball. Would love to
Mhm.
re-experience that. And then game, I would love to experience again for the first time Final Fantasy VII.
Mm.
That game is one of my favorites of all time.
That's a good one. Well, you, Devonte, what are your first experience redos?
Um,
No
probably
repeats. I don't want to hear your corny answer of
no,
falling in love with your
no.
wife again.
Probably reading the Bible for the first time.
Okay, yeah.
In mine. I read it every year, just like you watch all your movies every year. I read the Bible every year. Do the yearly reading, but I would love to read it for the first time again. Um, and I'd probably say meeting my cats, like
Mm.
Bickle and Popa. Like,
Pickle.
yeah, when me and Walken started dating, like, I never would have thought I'd become a cat person, man. Like, I just love cats now. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna go willingly, pick up a cat or go adopt one, but I mean, I used
Tell
to,
that to my cat. You literally picked him up the other day. He almost scratched you.
but he didn't, which
But he
was
didn't.
impressive. Um,
It
but
was
yeah,
actually.
I mean, I will, yeah, I would love to meet them one more, like for the first time. I think that'd be kind of cool. Bickle will probably not be happy, but that'd be all right. And then I'd like to eat certain cuisines for the
Oh,
first time.
that's
So
gonna
like,
be my example. Yeah.
oh, like sushi. Like I do not remember. I literally do not remember the first time I ever ate sushi.
Sushi.
So I would love to experience that again. Like if I mean if I could ever go back, but the one thing I do remember eating was crab legs. Like that was like a big hit. Like I remember it distinctly.
Blown
Like
away.
I was blown away, bro.
Whoa.
Like I remember my grandparents came from Japan and we went to Las Vegas because they're here in the states, and so we went to show them around. So we went to Las Vegas. We went to all you can eat, and mind you, I'm like in the elementary school, and so we're at all you can eat. My mom go she brings back a plate of crab legs. I've never seen crab legs before. She starts cracking them open, and then she brings out the meat because I'm a kid,
Yeah.
I can't do it, and so she leaves it there, and then she gets up and she leaves. She comes back, all of it's gone. All the meat's gone because I have devoured it. And
And thus she created a monster.
yes,
Don't look at
bro,
Oh
me.
when
no.
we go eat crab
Crunching
legs,
away. Don't look at me.
bro, I be demolishing colonies, bro.
This
I
man
am
has
a
a
monster when it comes
science
to
of how to eat
Oh
crab legs.
no.
Like, if you
so
ever are lucky enough to eat crab legs with Devontae, this man has it down to a science at this
yes.
point.
So
He gets so
probably
embarrassed and shy eating in front of people
yeah,
though.
because I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't like to
He's
use
like,
both
"I'm
my
so
hands
messy," as he has,
eating.
like, 2 drops on his whole gloves,
Yeah,
and I'm
no,
like,
he
"Bro,
uses every single finger to maximum efficiency
I
to eat the
get so
crab leg.
self-conscious eating crab legs, man.
I don't know why. I'm literally, like, dripping the sauce down my gloves, and you're over there, like, looking all nice, neat, and proper." I'm like, "How are you embarrassed?"
It's just embarrassing for me. And so if I go eat crab legs with you, that just shows how comfortable I am with you. That you're seeing me in such a state of just pure messy chaos in my
Or
head.
you're just that lucky guy who sat at the table next to him.
Yeah, because I am a mess when it comes to crab legs, but I love crab legs. So probably going back and eating certain cuisines for the first time.
That's a good one.
That's a good
Yeah, I
one.
think mine would be very similar. So I would love to experience this like certain specific dish from a restaurant, like a Uchiko, like in Austin, has like a dessert called the jasmine cream something. I can't remember what the actual name is, but it's a kind of like a tart, but they make it in such a very unique way that like when I first had it, it like blew my mind.
Mm.
So like every time I come back to that restaurant, I always order that same dessert. And it's good. Don't get me wrong. Like I love it every single time. But like the first time I ate it, like my entire like palate just went on like huge like roller coaster. It was phenomenal.
Mm.
Definitely love to experience that dish again. And then from a like Alex, I would love to experience like Star Wars for the first time. Like
It's a good one.
you
Do you
guys,
think you'd like it?
oh, 100%,
Yeah. Okay.
1000%. I
Yeah.
think I love.
I don't know. Some people they're like, if I went back and watched it,
Oh
I
no,
probably wouldn't have liked it.
I think I would love Star Wars. I think
Okay.
even now, just like there's something really classic about it. Like it's one of the first movies I remember watching like ever, and like I
Yeah.
don't remember exactly how I felt, but like I like Star Wars Return, like a Return of the Jedi is like one of my most like favorite, like one of my most loved VHSs of all time because I just kept playing it, rewinding, playing it, rewinding, playing it, rewinding it.
Yeah.
Great, it's phenomenal. And then experience wise,
Nice.
I think I have to, I think I would love to experience maybe like I'm like not like a Disney adult, but like watching like the Disney light show, the fireworks. Now when I was like in 20 something years old.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah.
was really cool. It's very special. It's a very special
It
moment.
was cool. Yeah.
So I think I would love to experience that again.
I have yet to experience it, so y'all will. If I ever go with y'all,
Oh,
it'll be my
I
first.
mean, you'll go with your kid eventually, right? Like it's ingrained into like cultural society to take your kid to Disney World.
haven't you
I didn't
been
go to.
to
I didn't go
Tokyo
to Disney
Disney?
World.
Oh yeah,
Haven't you
did you?
been to Tokyo Disney?
Oh, are we talking about Disneyland or Disney World?
I mean, it's this, the same
They'd still
idea as like
have
the
the
show, the
fireworks.
castle or fireworks show,
Oh,
the
okay,
very
okay.
ending
Then,
thing.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Disneyland. But I've never been to Disney World or Universal.
But you've been to the one in Tokyo, so you've seen it.
The Disneyland one, yeah,
But you saw the fireworks show.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't know it was
Very
the same
similar.
everywhere. Okay,
I
It's
mean,
similar, not
it's more or
carbon
less the
copies.
same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not carbon copies, but it's very similar.
okay.
Yeah.
Then I don't need to experience that again.
This guy.
But I think that's going to wrap up our show. Thank you all so much for listening. It was really fun kind of seeing how each of us, celebrates and still celebrates our culture. And, we're going to hold each other accountable, obviously. When Devontae has his kid, we're going to make sure that kid's speaking Japanese and knowing all the languages. When we see
Speaking
Alex's
some
kid,
Vietnamese.
we're going to be like, yeah, you learning your Spanish, girl? You learning it? For my
We'll
kid,
see.
yeah, you gotta hold me accountable. It's like, Anthony, do you know Vietnamese? Did your kid know Vietnamese? You gotta hold me account.
I will.
But yeah, understanding each other's culture is very important. I think it makes us a bit more, as Devante says, a bit more well-rounded and more knowledgeable with the world around them. So
Yeah.
glad that we have good aspirations. We're on a good track. And then, we're going to give a shout out to, with our ending stuff, we'll give a shout out to JT for our awesome background and awesome design color palettes. Give a shout out to Leviction for his awesome intro and outro. And to drop a hint to our fans, he actually helped us create new music for us that we're excited today debut. We started a new game series, Gloomhaven, one of my favorite board games of like recent years. And we're sampling some new sounds in there. So if you haven't started, go watch us play Gloomhaven. We did not do well the first episode, but
It's episode 0.
Oh,
I can
man.
proudly
It's our
say
tutorial episode.
I gave them a crash course. If you've never played Gloomhaven before, it's a very complex game. I gave them a crash course on how hard
Yeah.
it can be. And
That's
so
episode
now they
0,
know.
man.
Now they know. Now they're gonna
no
do better.
kidding.
And you guys have any more announcements?
Yeah, I've always got an announcement. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, follow, leave a comment. Guys, help us out here. Do your part. Help your boys out. Let's see it. I want to see us reach 500 followers in the next 3 months. If y'all can help us out, that would go crazy.
That would be really
Lofty
crazy.
goals.
I'm ambitious. What can I say? I would love to
Right.
see it.
You better get on that social media.
And you can clip that. You can clip that.
Me and Anthony on the side.
I mean, hey, it's sometimes good to shoot for the stars. So, if we get to
500,
that sounds good.
You know what? You know what? We'll say 505 months, 100 a month. How about that? Hey, you hear that, folks? That means y'all got at least one of y'all gotta start following. Like, we need like 3 a day at least.
Oh man, look at the predicament he's gotten us into.
That could be you. You could be one of those 3.
Well, as always, we learned a lot about each other today, and so we lived up to our name. Thank you for coming. The dudes you never told me. That's a wrap. Goodbye, everybody.